back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great, man. I'm feeling good. You guys would have saw my last video. Junkyard was not a score at all. But today, it's another day, another project. So what we got going on today, we got us a bunch of vibrant 90s and 45s AN swivel hose fittings. Call it an N, but it's a fitting. They're obviously all -8, and I have my -8 hose here as well. That is going to be for the Civic. Here are the tools that I'm going to be using for making the ends. I'm just going to show you guys, how to make one end. I'm not going to show you every end that I have to make, but I'll do that off camera, and then later on I'll show a video of me installing all of them. But here we are. I got 2 crescent wrenches. I have blue tape, and I will obviously explain why I need what I need. And then we have our grinder with a cutoff wheel. Now I know that they do make actual AN wrenches, but I don't have them, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put tape around all of this here so that we don't scratch up the fittings. Let me show you what I mean. So you can see I took the blue tape and I put it around both crescent wrenches so that they, like I said, so that they don't scratch up the AN fittings. So you guys saw I have the blue tape. The reason I use the blue tape is you want to take a small little piece, wrap it around your hose. Reason being, when you cut the AN line, you can see right now the way it is. You can see how frayed the wires are. So you put the tape so that when you do cut, nothing gets frayed, and you're able to slip the fitting on much easier. Okay, so once you have the tape situated, you're gonna go ahead and use your cutoff wheel to go ahead and cut off a small portion of it. Now with that little bit that's left, I'm gonna just take a regular old razor and just slice off that tip. Pause. Once we got that, we're gonna take this nice little 45 from Vibrant. Shout out to Vibrant. Go ahead and take that off all the way. And now you're gonna tap this guy and you're gonna push him in as far as you can to where you're gonna see that it stops. All right, so pushed it in as far as I can and it has stopped. Now what I didn't show, my bad, I did just take the tape off and it flared just a little bit, but not enough to where it's gonna cause any type of issues with it. And you really can't see. See, it looks pretty damn good. Damn, it's smoking because of the heat that's still coming from it. But you can see it looks pretty good. Let me see if you can see all the way down. You can see the hose is all the way down to the furthest point of that fitting. Once that is done, you want to take the other end of the fitting, you're going to tap it in and twist it. You don't want to go with the wrench yet. You just want to do it by hand as far as you can. As far as you can go by hand first, then we'll get the wrench in here and tighten it down really good. So that's kind of what I can do by hand. You can see I could do that by hand. Now I got to go ahead and grab the wrenches. Just so you all know, I am not a professional. If there's a better way of doing AN fittings, please put it down below in the comments. I'm always willing to learn. I'm always willing to listen if I'm doing something incorrectly or if there's a better way of doing things. So put it down in the comments below if you've already done AN fittings and you have a different way, a different method, or if what I'm doing is the correct way and you're actually learning something. Cool. So now that we have our fitting on there as tight as possible by hand. We're gonna go ahead and grab these wrenches with the tape on them and fit them to size and wrench away. And like I said, why we put the tape, so that these fittings don't go ahead and get all scratched up. Sure, this probably would have been easier, a whole lot easier, if I had a vice grip. But guess what? I don't got a vice grip. So this is what we're doing. Actually, I do have a vice grip. I just don't have it set up on a bench yet. But I do got a vice grip, guys. I do have a vice grip. Even though this line right here, this one exactly that I'm making, is going to be inside of the car, no one's going to really see it. It did get a couple little scratches even with the tape trick that I was doing. Right there you can see one there. So I went ahead and ordered 2 AN fitting wrenches right now. So they'll be coming in, but I'm going to continue on this one. Like I said, no one's going to see this one. So if it has a couple little scratches, it is what it is. But so far so good, man. I will say that I am going to switch over to electrical tape, and I'm going to tell you why electrical tape. So when I put the blue tape and I fit this hose in to the slot, actually I got to squeeze it a little bit more. When I fit this hose into the slot, you can still see some blue tape like on the outside. But if I take electrical tape and I squeeze it in, if you do see a itty bitty strip of black tape, it's cool. It's not going to be noticeable. But with the blue tape, when I squeezed it in, as far as it can go, you could still see a tiny bit of that blue tape. And if I take the blue tape off and try to put it in, that's when the cable or the wire frared, and I don't want that. So I'm going to switch over to electrical tape, which is going to be, I think, better look, and it's going to do the same exact thing. It's going to hold the little strings from doing all of that foolishness that you see right there. Here's the part number just in case you guys need it. This is the Vibrant Performance. This is the 45, part number 21408, and this is the 90, 21908. 90, 45, 90, 45. Well, that's all there is to it, man. Really not difficult to do. I'm gonna go ahead and start measuring out exactly what needs to get done, where it needs to get done, where it's gonna get ran, and then go ahead and continue making all these fittings and ends. Obviously, I'm not gonna bore you guys with making freaking whatever it is, 12 ends that I need or something like that in total. But once everything's done and I get to that point of installing everything, obviously I'm gonna make a video for you guys so you guys can check it out. Well, hope you guys learned something. Black tape, order the wrench because it's a lot easier instead of doing the tape, but it's just what I had. Thank you guys as always for tuning in. I hope you guys learned something. I did. Stay tuned for the next one, man. Thank you as always. You know the vibes. Chase the dream, not the competition. Peace, y'all.